Okay, House on Pleasant Street channel, YouTube. Gonna do a quick little video here today on my Toyota Tacoma. So I've got a 2016 Toyota Tacoma TRD Sport 4-wheel drive crew cab. And the issue I'm having, it's a minor issue, is that my truck has a lift kit and it has slightly bigger tires. And as you can see, when I turn, my tires rub that control arm there. So I'm going to try to fix this problem. What I went and did is I bought these little wheel spacers at Canadian Tire Store. And they're for a 5 or 6 bolt pattern, kind of a universal fit. I'm hoping they're going to fit. And they're very thin. They're only a 1/4 of an inch thick. I don't like when the wheels stick out, not the look I'm going for. I don't want some crazy off-road thing. The truck is lifted. It's got a lift in the front, probably some type of a leveling kit. And in the back, they've added the airbags. I'm happy with the setup. I bought the truck like this. These trucks would normally come with 265 16s, and this truck has, I don't know if you can see that, hopefully you can see that, this truck has 285 17s, so a little bit wider, a little bit more meat on the sidewall. So I'm hoping that's going to fix my problem. Okay, well here it is on the truck. I got one wheel off, and you can see it's just very thin, 1/4 of an inch. And just kind of slips on here. It's a generic fit, so it's not, I don't know, seems like it's not. Anyway, I'll give it a chance. These were $20 a set, so I'm out about $45. I'm going to put this wheel back on, see if I can notice a difference in the stance, but most importantly, it's for the front to prevent the rubbing. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so I got my wheel back on this side, 1/4 inch spacer. Let's see if we can see any difference in the stance. Hard to see. Okay, so there's my side with a 1/4 inch spacer. It's certainly maybe brought the tire out flush a little bit, but it's certainly not sticking out. Let's just get a shot of this, and then we'll compare it to the other side. Again, I did not want my tire sticking out, but the question is this 1/4 inch spacer going to be enough to stop the rubbing? This is the side without the spacer. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to go back and analyze this video, but right now, I have to say that I really don't see a big difference. I really don't. No spacer. This is the spacer. So I just went back and forth. Anyway, let's see how this goes. I'm going to carry on. Okay, so carrying on with my wheel spacers, I'm just going to put in my 2 cents worth here, because I'm not 100% sure. There's obviously 2 kind of wheel spacers you can buy. There's these ones here, which is basically just a spacer that you put on your hub. And you put on your hub, and then you let the existing bolts from the hub is what fastens to your wheel. Now it says when you put this on, you got to make sure that you got at least 1/2 inch of thread left, and there's way more than 1/2 inch there, so I'm happy with that. Having said that, if this isn't thick enough to get rid of the rubbing inside my wheel arch, which is right here, this is where my tire's rubbing, and the tire looks fine on the inside. I mean, there's no evidence of any nastiness, but it is rubbing when I turn hard, and that's obviously not good, not supposed to do that. So I'm hoping that this little spacer is going to fix my problem. Now when I do, I tried to put, just for the heck of it, I tried 2. So with 2 spacers, then it wouldn't leave enough meat. So I'm going to try this. Now the other type of spacer is one that you can buy, which fastens to your hub, but has studs that come with it. And these are generally made of aluminum. And some people say that these are no good because they take away thread depth on your nuts. And some people say that the other ones are no good because they have aluminum studs and those are weaker than the steel studs. So this is up for debate as far as I'm concerned. I don't know which one's better. I would think this one would be better because all it is just spacing out the existing hub, and then you're putting your nuts back on these steel studs, which are part of the hub. I would think this is the better, but I've been told that the other ones are better and these are not because they take away thread depth. But there's more than half an inch here, so that should not be an issue. The only thing is the ones I could find for this, the 5/6 bolt pattern, are these ones here, which have an elongated slot to make it work, because it is generic. It's meant to fit all brands, which to me this does not seem like a great fit, but hopefully it won't throw anything off. It's aluminum, it's light as a feather, so I'm hoping this is going to work. More importantly, this size only came in 1/4 inch. So if this doesn't work and this still rubs, I'm kind of going to be SOL, but time will tell. I'll go for a drive later, see how it goes. So I'm out on the test drive with the Tacoma. I got the 1/4 inch wheel spacers in, and I just backed out of my driveway. I put the wheel sharp and I felt no rubbing or noises or nothing. So this is looking pretty promising. So I just got across the street here. I'm in a parking lot and I'm going to try a couple maneuvers. Of course, I got to do this and hold the camera. See what happens. Try not to run anyone over. I'm going to come like this. I'm going to turn as sharp as I can to the left. I never put my wheel hard over because of the rubbing. So I always kind of thought that the turning radius of this truck was kind of shitty, but maybe it was attributed to that. So here we go. Wheel is hard over. And I never hold the wheel hard over. Here's, just try this way. Oh, yes. Smooth as butter. I did not think that a 1/4 inch spacer would make a difference. It certainly does not look any different. But if it was enough for $45, taxes in, if that's what it took to stop my my wheel from rubbing the control arm, then I'm extremely happy. And I normally get it when I back out and turn. So let's try this now. I'm going to simulate that I'm backing out of my driveway. I'll turn the wheel hard over. Oh. Wheel is hard over. Smooth as butter. Look at the camera. Not that it's any good to me, but yeah, the wheel's hard over, friends. I'm impressed. Let's try the other side now. I'll let this taxi cab go, because let's try backing up. I'll turn my wheel the other way. I'm hard over, and I never hold the wheel like that. Wow. Excellent. Excellent. 1/4 inch spacer. $20 a pair. 45 and change, taxes in, and it cured the problem I was having. Now, as I mentioned, I didn't want some jacked off thing with the wheels sticking out like some you know, some aggressive hot off-road. I do like a bit of an aggressive stance, and I wouldn't have minded if the tires came out a little bit, at least to meet the edge of the flares. So now that I've been rolling, let's just see if there's any difference. Excuse the wind. honestly. I'll have to go back and look at the video, but that 1/4 inch, I don't know if it's just me, but it almost looks like this wheel sticks out more than this one. It must be either my eyes or the shadows or whatever, but I don't know. Anyway, there's a 1/4 inch spacer on each side. I mean, the truck has a nice stance anyway. The truck sits nice, especially with the airbags. And I usually put about 40 psi in the back, and that's just enough to give it that light rake. I like when my vehicles are slightly up in the back. It's just a personal thing. A lot of people are into leveling kits and that, where the front end is higher. I think that looks stupid, but that's just all personal preference. So I can't say that these have pushed my wheels out very much. Well, it did, but a 1/4 inch. So I guess I'm going to call this a success, because rubbing of the control arm is eliminated. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to coat this back up with some undercoating, and if that stays dirty and doesn't get polished up like that again, I'll know for sure that it's cured, but it sure sounds like it's cured. And of course, I haven't taken it on the highway. Hopefully that didn't throw off the balance or anything. I don't think. But there it is. Wheel spacers, 1/4 on some 285s. If you put 285s on your Tacoma, you will need the small wheel spacers of at least a 1/4 inch to get rid of the rubbing. Okay, that's all. Thanks for watching, and catch you on the next one.